Hey there, brothers and sisters. This video is a couple of quick tips on if you are recording a video to send in for use on our services or our YouTube page or our Facebook page. Just want to give a few tips on how to record so you get the optimal experience for viewers. Now, I'm actually practicing what I preach in that this is my camera phone pointed at me. And so you'll be watching how I'm doing on these tips as I go. So I got three things that you got to keep in mind. It's your prep, it's your recording, and it's retakes. A little side note about that. So the first thing, prep. I always say to instructors on the university campus, prep for a recording like you normally do. So think about, you're going to present on a Sunday morning at our church service. How would you prep? Would you write everything that you're going to say? If so, write what you're going to say for the video. If you go off of bullet points like I do here, then just go off bullet points. Basically, keep it the same as what you're used to, because as soon as you're out of your element, you won't be yourself, and we don't want that. So, script or outline, and think about the timing. How long do you have to talk about what you're talking about? Kind of, get to the point. You don't have to, keep talking and talking and talking because you don't feel the pressure of the audience looking at you going, what? I'm confused. Remember, have a focus, have a function to what you're doing, but use an outline if you're used to outlining. Next, recording. Okay, you've got what you want to say, or you're supposed to say, or you're ready to say, or what God's going to use you for. How do you actually capture the thing to then send in to us for us to use? So, I recommend people first start with their phones. Everybody, almost everybody, has a cell phone with a great camera on it. And you don't have to overthink it for getting it in good placement. That's a thing that you want to think about, is camera placement. You want it about eye level, like this is, and if you need to overshoot it, like mine is, you could go down a little bit. It's always better to be up a little high and shoot down a little bit than to be down low and shoot up. I'll show you. This is not spoiling any secret sauce here. Literally, my camera is on top of this roller deal on my desk, and a pair of scissors are jammed into it, and then my phone is leaning against it. That's all the magic there is to it. I know I have a tripod and I've got a nice camera and I could set all that stuff up, but I want you to know, a little secret. You can use kind of whatever you can find. Some books, a box, whatever, a ledge. Set up your camera to be at about eye level. If you're seated, try to have your camera to be about eye level. You don't want to have it look like this. So this is me with my phone propped up against some books here on my desk, and yeah, I might be close to my phone, and yeah, I might be kind of in the middle, but nobody likes this angle. This angle's not that flattering. Even though, well, maybe that would be even less flattering to be talking here. It's just not how we look at people. And the other thing you want to pay attention to is your lighting, because you don't want your video to look like this. You probably don't want a lot of light behind you, and then the camera automatically exposes for outside, which is very pretty and interesting, but it's not the thing that you should be paying attention to, which is me. So I've got my camera at about eye level, and I'm shooting with good lighting coming out towards me. I've also tended to my background so that I don't have anything embarrassing or distracting behind there. I mean, maybe you're a Cubs fan or something, and you're distracted by the posters of what's hanging on the wall. But I've tried to kind of tend to my background, right? So those are all good things to do. In addition, while you're recording, think about audio. Phones are great. Phones are made to hear the human voice and isolate it from other sounds. So that's a really good thing already. But as you can see, I'm not whispering here and talking really softly like you're sitting right next to me. I'm talking as if you're back there, and then that way the microphone can really pick up what I'm trying to say. Now, sometimes you might have multiple people talking on what you're trying to record. I'd say, get involved in the action. If you need to put your camera closer to what's going on, then by all means do it. The camera adds all of this space, so you could have people kind of closed up and it might feel a little odd in person, but it's way better to get the recording device close to what you're trying to hear than to put it on the other side of a room, and then there's all this empty space and little people sitting in the middle trying to talk, and we're all trying to make out what are they saying, and then Bob's got to like caption it so that everybody understands. Yeah, go ahead, put the camera right in people's face. You can move it even if you need to say, so-and-so is talking, now I can see them, and then so-and-so is going to talk, oh, now I'm going to see them. Think about audio. You want it to be clear. You can get close to the action. And then lastly, a note about retakes. We've been doing virtual services here for a couple of weeks, and I'm the one collecting lots of videos, and I hear more often than I would like that people had to redo it a bunch of times. And I'm just here to say, maybe you don't have to keep redoing it. Yes, it's your prerogative. This thing to you might feel like it's more forever in that you're recording it and then you're sending it off and it could get stored in some archive and come up years later and you don't want to be misrepresented or say a thing that you didn't want to say, so you want to make sure you get it all right. And that's good, and I would say that's great. But consider, if you've ever gotten up in front of the church and spoken, that's being recorded and stored somewhere. It's the same principle. So you normally, in the middle of being on stage, don't go, no, stop, we're going to redo this, we're going to redo this. I'm just here to save you a little bit of time. You don't have to redo and redo and redo and redo because of some little thing. If you stub your toe and you start swearing all over the place, yeah, maybe redo that one. That one might not work, but don't overthink it. Be yourself. I'm doing this all in one take. I've already thought a few times, oh, I could stop back and redo and start that, but no, I'm doing this all in one take to practice what I preach. So those are some tips if you're going to send in a video to us. By all means, reach out to me if you have further questions, and people will be standing by on the other end of you sending it to edit things out, like edit out you kind of starting your phone, or edit out if there's a real big thing in the middle and you're like, can you please edit out that section? Or if it's really hard to hear, we'll try to make it better, but audio is hard to edit, so please give us good stuff to work with. There are people here to help, but I want to ensure that you are set up to record the best possible video, and that's what these tips are for. Thanks, have a great day, and have fun submitting stuff.